Everybody, welcome back. This is Chef Brian K. We're doing another episode tonight of Let's Cook. Tonight we're starting our recipe of chicken and dumplings, Kentucky style. A little bit of our Kentucky's finest bourbon. Let's get started. Start by washing our chicken. Always rinse our chicken real good. We've already washed our hands up nice and clean. So we're rinsing up our chicken. Okay, we got our washed chicken. You dry this all off. Lay it out on paper towels. Damp it with some paper towels. And off to the next step. Okay, now we're going to saute our chicken a little bit. Just put a little bit of color on it. Using a big 14-inch cast iron skillet. I love cooking in this thing. Works really well. Salt and pepper. Okay, time for a cup of Earl Grey tea. I love my little steeping cup. Works really great. Earl Grey tea hot, it says, after my Star Trek character friend, Jean-Luc Picard. Okay, let's get back to it. Okay, we're sauteing our chicken here. Putting a little color on it. Alright, we got about half our chicken nice and browned up. Finishing up the other half with this 12-inch, 14-inch cast iron skillet. Really works well. Gives us some good color pretty quickly. Holds its heat pretty well. I recommend cast iron any chance you get. As you can see in the background, I've got quite a little bit of it there. Okay, our chicken's getting turned here, just about ready to come off, and we'll get to cooking it. You gotta steep it down in a little bit of chicken stock so that we can chill it and pull all the meat off of those bones for our chicken and dumplings. Okay, we've got our chicken stock on top of our chicken. I'm going to throw a little lid on there, and we're going to just slowly steep this chicken for about 45 minutes to an hour till it's cooked through. Then we'll chill it and pull it off the bone. In between that time, we'll do a few other things. We still have dumplings to make. Okay, we steeped our chicken for about 45 minutes. We're going to put it back in the skillet and throw this in the oven for a little while. Then we're going to put it back in some chicken stock. This was a little salted water we used. And we're going to throw it in the oven for a little bit, then put it in some chicken stock and finish it off. And then we'll have a nice, clear, clean chicken stock for cooking our dumplings. Okay, we baked our chicken for about 20-25 minutes. Threw it in this chicken stock and cooked it down for another 15 or 20 minutes just to get some nice chicken stock for cooking our dumplings. Okay, now we'll throw on some nice rubber gloves. Keep our hands clean. Remember always to wash your hands in between. Rubber gloves do not prevent germs if you don't use them properly. All right, we'll pull all the meat off of this chicken and throw it in the fridge and let it sit till we're ready to move on. Okay, we've got all our chicken nice and cleaned up. Went through it again, make sure we don't have any bones in it. Can't have any bones in our chicken and dumplings. Wipe down real quick. Get rid of our bones so the cats and the dog don't get them. Not good for puppies or kitties. All right. Still have our chicken stock. That's definitely not going anywhere. Here's our chicken. And we're going to cover that up and put it in the fridge. And off to vegetable prep. Okay. I'm going to prep out our carrots right now. We're going to cut them in about 1/2 to 3/4 inch pieces. And after that, we got a little bit of celery and a little bit of onion. So let's get going on this. Okay, time for some celery. Save these carrots for another project. All right. Do our celery the same way. We cleaned it up already. We're just going to cut it into about 3/4 inch pieces. Okay, we'll get another small sauce pot here. Put some of our chicken stock in it. Okay, now we'll blanch our carrots and our celery. And then we'll get to work with our onions. Okay, now we're going to saute our onions with a little bit of butter. We poured our stock into a smaller pan. We're going to use the larger pot to saute our onions. Then we're going to add a little bit of flour and make a roux right in there with the onions. We'll saute those for a few minutes. Okay, a little Kentucky going in there. Some old Forester, one of our home state favorites. As you know, it's bourbon. It has to be made right here in Kentucky to bear the name of bourbon. Now I'm pulling out one of my favorite little toys. I make this to keep my pots off of the gas burners. It's a big long piece of foil rolled into a ring, and you can move it and shape it to be taller, flatter, whatever you need at the time. Get a couple of pot holders here, put that over the burner, raise the pot up, and that'll keep it from burning when we add this flour to make our roux with our onions. Okay, we're going to add a couple of cups all-purpose flour, stirring it right in. One cup at a time. Get it all stirred in and mixed in real good. I kind of do this by sight. We got about 3/4 of a cup of vegetable oil, and we'll have 2-3 cups of flour. That should give us enough thickening power for the whole pot of chicken and dumplings. And when you make your chicken and dumplings, you don't always have to use roux. You can make it with a broth type consistency. All are acceptable. Of course, we're going to be putting some dumplings in here also. And those, when you make a big pot, even if it's brothy, will tighten the sauce just up a little bit. So, make it the way you want it. Okay, now we make the dumplings. We're going to use 1 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Well, make it a teaspoon of salt. 3 to 4 tablespoons of butter, softened but not melted. And 3/4 of a cup of milk. We'll put the flour in, the salt, and the baking powder. Mix it all up. Just a little bit more. There you go. That's our baking powder. Touch over 2 teaspoons. And a little kosher sea salt. Okay, we have our pastry cutter. We're going to soften our butter for just a few seconds in the microwave. Got that out. Add that to our flour mixture. And we'll cut that in with the pastry blender. And we'll use a whip a little bit as well. A little black pepper. We already have our salt in it. Mix that up real good. So now we have that butter chopped in there into little crumbles. And we're going to add our milk and stir it into nice dumpling mixture. Okay, now we're going to add our milk, 3/4 of a cup. You can adjust this if need be. I do believe I'm going to add just a little bit more after this, but it's always a little bit dry when I make this recipe. Okay, it's ready to be dumplings. So, we'll get it over to the stock pot, start spooning our dumplings into the pot. I use a little warm water in a coffee cup and take my 2 tablespoons and I use them to make my little dumplings. A lot of times people call these quenelles. They're little 3-sided shaped dumplings, but when you put them in this stock, they'll attain a shape of their very own. That baking powder makes them rise, and they'll make whatever shape they feel like. A little more water, back to the dumpling mix. And we'll keep doing this till they're all in the water and let them poach for 15 minutes. Okay, pulling our dumplings out, putting them in a small bowl with a little bit of melted butter in it. And there we go. Dumplings are done. We'll set those aside. Now we'll take our previously mixed onions and flour and butter very carefully in my nice Teflon pots. There we go. Plastic spoon. That's the ticket. So now we've got our stock with our onions, flour, and butter. Let that thing simmer and start to tighten up a little bit. Then it'll be time for our chicken and our vegetables. Okay. Time to add our vegetables. Use a small strainer there. Now we simmered these vegetables for a little while so they're nice and tender. Our stock and roux and butter and onions are all sauteed and cooked. We have our dumplings on the side and our chicken. So I'm just going to add as much of this vegetable mixture as I think is necessary. And then, yes, all our fresh cooked chicken meat. I can taste this already. Yeah, chop up that big piece a little bit. There we go. All right, get it all in there. Lovely. All right, taste test. Then we can adjust the seasoning if need be. Okay, in go the dumplings. And we're just about there. Okay, we're going to turn the heat off under this thing, I hope. Well, we just add a bunch of cold ingredients, so. Well, there we have it. Thanks for joining us on Let's Cook. I'm Chef Brian K. Chicken and dumplings. Make it for yourself soon. Take care.